everyone, I am Pastor Megan from virtualgrace.net, and today I'm going to tell you about how you can make your worship child-friendly. Step 1, allow children to participate in age-appropriate ways. This means if someone's old enough to read scripture or to read prayers or to write their own prayers, you can let them do that. They might need the help of someone else, or they might not. But if you have younger kiddos, they might be able to carry stuff in. They might be able to be the person who is passing the plate for the offering. My children in each worship service pour the water in the baptismal font, and it reminds us all that everyone is equal, that we're all children of God and we're beautiful in our baptism. Sometimes my kiddos will be the communion assistants. It really just depends on what a child is able to handle and what a congregation finds sacred and what kind of bodies they think help make a worship service more sacred. My kiddos, super sacred, so it works out okay. Step 2, allow them to remain in worship the entire time. The reason that studies have said it's important to keep children in worship the entire time is they start to get the rhythms of the service inside of their bodies. They hear the music and they start to learn it. They hear the prayers and they kind of get the feel of how worship service works. I love my kids. I love teaching my kids about faith, but one day when we were at home, my kids started saying the Lord's Prayer, and I had not taught it to them. They knew it because they stay in worship the entire time, and every Sunday they heard it being prayed, and they learned it on their own. When children leave partway through the service, oftentimes studies have said that they feel like when they try to go to worship later in life, they don't understand organically the rhythms of worship. We can change that. Allow your kids to stay the whole time. Is it different? Sometimes noisier? But Jesus said, let the children come, and you should too. Step 3, have a kid-friendly coffee hour. Don't set things at a child range that they can touch that are too hot. Have healthy enough snacks that are gonna make parents feel like their children can stay and eat. If you have too many sugary snacks, some parents might decide to leave and go to lunch instead of being at your coffee hour. And the more that people can be in fellowship together, the more they're learning about faith, the more they're engaging with your community, and the more they are a part of your worship service. So if you know that you have at least 1 or 2 child-friendly snacks at each coffee hour, like goldfish or whatever is the favorite of a child you want to stay around longer, it will go better. Things like high chairs help. Just being a place where it's safe for kids to eat goes a long way to helping kids want to eat in your space. Step 4, always take children seriously and answer their questions. So if someone asks you why Jesus is dying on the cross, you tell them with an answer that is appropriate to their age level. And if they ask you things like what it means to celebrate communion or what the Trinity is, do your best to explain those things too. And you can ask them at the end, what do you think? Because then you don't have to feel like you have to have the right answers before you talk to kids about their faith. You can share what you believe, ask them what they believe, and then it's an ongoing conversation. And it's fun to learn kind of how kids' faith changes over time as well. But take them seriously, and they'll take church seriously. Step 5, set up a prayground. Prayground is like a playground, but it's in the middle of the worship space. It's not set aside, it's not in the back so that you don't hear the kids. It's really important that that playground space be where children can observe the most important rituals of your faith community. If communion is important to you, kids need to be able to see it, to hear the bread when it cracks, to smell it, right? To know that all these parts of the worship service are happening. This will prevent kids from running up to the chancel and feeling like they're interrupting a worship service. They want to know and be a part of these parts of our faith life that are really crucial to our faith. So if your playground is set somewhere where they can see the communion really well, they can see the baptismal font, if you're gonna fling water on people with a tree branch, start in a place where the kids can see you, and you're helping to ignite their imagination and you're helping them to be a full part of your worship service. And the good news is you made it all the way to the end of this video, and that means you already have a heart for helping kids feel more included in your worship service. That's half the battle. Love them and they'll notice. Take care, everybody.